I'm still on with the hedge trimming. It's been a long old drag this year. I started too late really. I started near the end of January. I really should have started earlier than that. I don't like doing it this late because I always feel now I'm up against it with doing things like fencing and got to get the fertiliser on and some muck out and stuff like that. Although to be honest, that's quite normal on farming. You always feel like, I always feel like there's never enough time and there's always another job to do. I've picked up a few souvenirs while I've been going around. Look at this. That's not a good thing to pick up. So there's my barbed wire where I've caught the flipping hedge trimmer in a few bits and pieces of wire. So that's another bit of fencing I've got to do. I've also got, look at that, I picked up a nice log. I must have dropped that ages ago. Don't know when that fell out. So I've got a nice bit of, oh, and there's another bit here. That's a bit of fence post. So I've got a nice bit of bonus firewood, which it needs a bit more drying out, so I'll be right for next year, chuck it in the woodshed. And talking of that, of wood, I thought what we'd do during the hedge trim, I'm going to stop and we're going to have a look at a couple of trees. So one is a tree that I left around in the corner of the hedgerow a few years back, just started getting going. And another one is a new tree, new for 2022 on the farm, which I've managed to cut round on the hedge, and will help replace what I'm going to lose next year with ash or this year with ash dieback. Right, I'm going to show you. Right, we'll get there. I've got to do a bit of hedge trimming, and we'll get there. I'll park up and we'll have a quick look. All right. Let's get on with the hedge trimming anyway. We're coming up to the corner of the hedge where I left some field maple, if you must know. The good thing is, because I've been doing this so long, I do know my trees from just the bark and from the twigs, and it's very useful if you're trying to pick out a tree in a hedgerow to leave. But we're going to stop in a minute and I'll show you what I mean. Oh, my windows are so dirty. Right, let's jump out. Okay. Ooh. Right, there she blows. Right. Can hear some dogs barking over there. Right. So look, the hedgerow here, I'll just show you this. It's quite brutal really. I'm on every 2-year hedge trimming because of the conservation, but it actually doesn't leave such a good finish because the branches get so thick. Tends to break them up. Look at that. You have to whack it back a lot harder on 2-year hedge trimming. I better pull that out of the way as well. Look at that. That's a piece that's come off. This is the problem I have. Look at this. This is blackthorn growing out from the hedge. I said to you before in another video how it likes growing out. Look at this. It's going on out. Look. It's come out here. Where's the furthest one? Out here. Look at that. That's a good 10 foot, 15 foot from the hedge. So the suckers are running out. Right, anyway, we've got a poor old ash tree here. It's taken a bit of a beating. The top's snapped off where the woodpeckers have got in. Can you see the look at that lovely woodpecker hole up there? Can you see it? I'll show you my pecker. Oh no, woodpecker hole. There we go. Look at that. It's a woodpecker hole. And they've made a hole in there. But the trouble is, they weakened the tree and the tree snapped off. But look, if you look down, it's actually quite interesting. You can see the hollow they made. Look at it, it's pretty impressive. That's almost like what you call a burrow, where the hole, there's the hole through the other side and they've come right down in there. So it's amazing to see. But I'm worried, I think we'll lose this tree soon from ash dieback. So we won't have that for much longer. But look, this is what I'm saying about leaving trees. This is a tree I've left in the corner. And that is a field maple. Just starting to do really well, isn't it? You can see, obviously you can't see it very well down in there, but it looked good in the summer. So the interesting thing about that is I've sort of changed my policy a little bit. if you think I've got a policy. So what I'm trying to do, I always try and leave a tree in every hedge. Very important for me to have trees on the farm. But also what I've started to do now is when I come to field corners like this, it's a wide hedge, hard to get the hedge trimmer right over to the corner, and sometimes it's, you know, I spend ages reversing back and doing a little bit just to try and get the reach right. So what I've decided to do instead is I'm actually going to let the corners grow up, like that one there. That's the field maple that happens to be in the corner, which is good luck. So I'm going to have trees on the corners of the fields as well as on the ends in the middle. So if I can zoom across, I can't really, let me just, it's got a tree behind it. I'm looking across here. Right, can you see, let me just move this way and you'll see what I've done there. Can you see that? There we go, that's the field corner I'm leaving now. So that corner of that field will have those, that's blackthorn there, that's going to be nice with berries and stuff. So my idea is that it doesn't matter if it's blackthorn and not a particularly good tree, because my idea is to leave the corners to create some height for the birds and some cover for the birds, because the trouble is we've got all these hedgerows, but if they're low down, there's nothing that, you know, it's not very safe from any predator. But also the bigger birds need that height there to rest on. And my worry now is, as you know, I'm worried about the ash dieback coming in. So I'm trying to leave some stuff now because I'm potentially going to lose these other trees sometime in the future. The problem is, majority of my hedgerows here are elm and ash. So what's happening is I can't leave the elm. There's no point in leaving that. That'll be dead after 15 years. And there's no point in me trimming around any new ash trees, I think. Not while ash dieback is so prevalent. I've got some young ash trees that I saved 15 years ago, and they're looking really good now, but they're blooming probably going to go, aren't they? Anyway, that's field maple. I'm going to drive along. Let's go along. I'll just show you 2022's new tree. Right. Oh, I'm all of a fluster now. Let me get this sorted. Right. If I look around this farm now, so I don't know how long ago I started doing hedge trimming. Time goes by, doesn't it? I've got to be doing our own hedge trimming on this farm at least 15 years. At least 15. And in that time, that's when it changed, because when you have a contractor in, their job isn't to do conservation, their job is to trim the hedgerows. And so unless you tell them to leave a tree or, you know, leave a sapling, they're not necessarily going to do that. I mean, maybe some really good contractors will speak to the farmer and say, oh, do you want that tree left? But to be honest, that's not their job. As I said, their job is to get the job done. So the difference was, when I changed over to doing the hedge trimming myself, I then decided that was a good opportunity for me to change the landscape of the farm, and it's really paid off. Right, I'm just coming around here. We're going to see the new 2022 tree, and also show you in the distance there's some oak trees and another field maple which I left right at the start when I started hedge trimming. So we're going to come up here now. This is good, because the only good thing about doing one of the good things about doing 2-year hedge trimming is it does get the chance for the sapling to get big enough for you to see. Alright, let me just spin it around. Here she is. Should we call her she? There we go, the new for 22 field maple. Look, quite a spindly thing. Now I'm hoping, I did leave one there a few years ago, but it was underneath the wires and the pylon, people took it out, which is fair enough. I knew when I was doing it was a gamble. This one is far enough away from the pylon, that's not going to interfere with that. And it won't get a massive tree, but let me just, if I can zoom in, look, it's spindly, nothing much to see at the moment. But I'm hoping to come back, we'll see that again in the future. Look at that, I'm just pleased that I could leave that one. And if you look over here, look, these are the ones I left right at the start of my hedge trimming career, look. That's a field maple there, right, which won't grow massive, but along here are 2 oak trees. There's an oak tree behind the field maple, and there's another one. Where is it? Oh, I'm zooming over. There it is. That is a young-ish oak tree there. So it's got a reasonable canopy on it. It's just starting to get established now. I'm quite pleased about that. So 2 oak trees there, and a field maple there, which weren't ever there before, and then they got this brand new one. So there we go. Nature conservation is tricky when you're trying to farm as well, but I see no reason why every farmer can't leave a few trees on their farm on hedgerows. And I have to say, the one thing that frustrates me driving around the countryside is the amount of hedgerows I see with no trees in them, where no one has thought of leaving a tree behind. And the problem with that is you need young trees to grow on and replace the old trees. Okay, you can't leave the elms and the ash, but you can pick out a field maple or a young oak, or depending where you are, a beech or horse chestnut or something like that. So, you know, if any of you are watching this and you've got a few acres of land and you've got hedgerows with no trees, think of me, think of the funky farmer, and my message to you is, come on, leave a tree. Leave a tree for the future, because you'll have pride in seeing that grow, and you'll come back over the years and you can see how it does, you know. And whoever's watching this video in 50 years time, whoever's running this farm or managing this piece of land, I hope they'll come back and look at this video and then go and look at those trees and see what they're like. Right, anyway, there we go. I'm cracking on with edge trimming. Just got to finish tidying up around that one. Let's get this bad boy going. Still got some more to do. I've done plenty of pot master, and let's get going. I'm sort of so far I haven't got a crick neck, which is a bit of a miracle actually. Right. See you guys later. Laters, taters.